Alright, so firstly, I'll start by saying Kalalal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessing to all the Akiams out there pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is the brother Yakazakala, along with here to do a lesson on the topic of understanding judgment. The Lord will,
and Lord do.
Can. And this is taking this from a discussion between Sarnetta and Captain Tazariak, where Sarnetta basically saying that the Mosai create homosexuals, and Tazariak is saying that men choose to be homosexuals, which is wrong and not scriptural. And we're just shedding some edification on the matter, So just going right into it and get this first precept.
Ecclesiasticus 42 and verse 24. We say, all things are double one against another, and he had made nothing imperfect.
God says all things are double one against another. So you have the duality aspect. You have to have good and evil. To understand what good is and understand what evil is. You have to have up and down, and it goes on. For sure, you light and darkness. To understand each. So the Most High create all things double against each other, for you get an understanding of what they are, and he show judgment through those things.
Example as the elder out here always I say, yo, the reason why say your belly full of because what? You did hungry. That's one of film greatest example. The reason why say yo, your belly full is because what? You did have the spirit of hunger upon you, right? And when the spirit they disappear, you have the spirit of what? Belly full.
Fullness.
And I see him think, you see me, the most I create duality and that him work with. You see me? In a proverb, you tell us the most I create what? Evil for the day are wicked. You see me? So basically, adjust that, right? It is not a case wherein as everybody have free will and do as them please, and the most I don't know, say, did I go do that? You see me? The most I actually write your script and get to play. You see me? Looking at the case with Esau and Jacob, right? Esau was, you see me, born to do what he is doing now. You see me? That are him duty. You see me?
That was his purpose.
The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. You see me? Thou shalt call them what? Esau Edom, the border of wickedness, as the brother Yashemai always a quote.
It says, and he had made nothing imperfect. You can even look from the example of what's going off. It was written, and prophesied that Israel is going to go astray from the Most High, and we were going to be punished because of going astray. It wasn't of our own doing, saying we now go follow the laws, statutes, and commandments or whatever. It was prophecy. It had to come to pass. The Most High will it, and it has to go forward. The Most High will and the Most High do.
Simple. The scripture tells us in Isaiah 55 and 11, the Most High word shall not return unto him void, but it go wherever and do as he please.
That's right.
You see me?
And it's the same for any man or living creature, anything that is created, of him, because him create all things,
In order for we actually there preach to you and actually have the understanding of the scripture, you actually have to have somebody out there who don't understand it. You see me? Because that is what? That is balance. You see me? That is just how the Most High work. As it say, all things are double one against another. It couldn't go one way. The reason why say the sun hot, because say cool shade today, you have a cooler time. You see me?
That's right.
You see me? One is double against another. You see me? That is duality. The Lord is not the art of confusion, and where the standpoint where they come from, it is confusing. Because the precept where what name?
Sarnetta
Bring out in Jeremiah 1 and 5.
Right, I get it.
Let's pull it up. See, 1 and 5 up at top. He say, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. Just that alone is a straight cold cut, right? He said, I knew thee. Meaning, say the Most High already write your script and know your part where you play. The scripture also tell us while you are asleep, you have angels that instill your instructions.
for the next day.
Exactly.
You know, scripture say, how can a man understand his way? The Lord direct his paths.
Exactly.
Just for paraphrasing.
You know? So basically, as the brother keep on and say, the Lord will and the Lord do. That is just basically it. You know? We are in his movie. And we are playing the part he gave us to play. You see me? So a man born, you know, turning out to be an homosexual, at that part there, him have to play in the movie. You see me?
Simple. You not understanding it, you know, is your part to play in the grand scheme of all things.
Yeah.
You know, and we getting that understanding, is our part to play as well.
Exactly.
You know, we do nothing of our own. The Most High do all things.
Hey, let me bring in a side precept. Just
finish. It says, Jeremiah 1 verse 5 again says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nation. As scripture says, the spirit of the prophet is subject unto the prophets. You know.
The Most I know exactly what I do. Him say how he must speak to Jeremiah, saying that him knows that Jeremiah was a prophet, but at the front he say, I knew thee. You see me? It has speak about everybody. Him actually before, you know, him actually know exactly what you come do, because of him write your role.
And him create a spirit, man.
Exactly. God James 4 and 13. Just one side precept. Do not so more. He say, yo, go now, ye that say, today or tomorrow, we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get gain. He say, whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow, right? For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeared for a little time and vanisheth away. For ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live or do this or that. Point blank. If the Lord will, because at the end of the day, the Lord will and the Lord do it not up to we. If it did up to we, yo, brother always make an analogy, you know. If it did up to man, we move them own steps. It would be like a confused chessboard. We all know that the knight can move in our L motion. You're going to hear the knight say, yo, but I don't want to move L no more, you know. I want to move like a queen, you know, because a queen can go everywhere like so, you know. And I hear a king. Oh, man, that she move go everywhere, I can only move one step. I'm a bigger man. You see me? That would be confusion. The Lord. It come like, say, yo, the director and the writer come together and they make the movie, and then the actors say, yo, but I don't want to be main star, you know, man. I want to be one side man over there, so like so, you know. And then the side man say, yo, but I want to bust two guns this or you see me? It'll be total confusion.
And you know, them feel to understand that with the Most High, because if a director, you know, can write a role for the villain play, you see me, and the villain play that role, and at the end, you know, the outcome of the villain saying get defeated, you know, then why the Most High can't write a role, say a man I gonna be a homosexual, you see me, and at the end a female is dead, because I part and take with the Most High give him. So each of us on this plane have a role to play out in the Lord's movie.
The scripture tells us you have vessels of honor and vessels of...
Can get that.
2 Timothy 2:20 or something like that.
And this is 2 Timothy 2 and verse 20 says, but in a great house there are not only vessels of gold and of silver.
Exactly. So you don't have only high vessels, you see me, gold and silver. You see me? Continue.
It says, but also of wood and of earth.
So you know, so these are things where basically people that look lowly upon. You see me? Versus a gold and a silver, people that look on wood and earth. As you know,
people walk upon this every day.
You see me?
It says, and some to honor and some to dishonor.
Point blank. You see me? The Most High create a set of people to get destroyed and a set of people to basically exalt him. You see me? That's why you have the brothers out here in the highways and the byways lift up the name of Yahweh, which is the Father, in the name of the Son, which is Yahweh Shai. You see me? Not Jesus and Jehovah, right? Because what? Him create vessels of honor, you see me? and vessels of dishonor. That's why you have the so-called white people, which you scripture refer to them as bad or wickedness. You see me out here do so much atrocities. You see me having sex with animals, everything contrary to the Most High laws. You see me a vessel of dishonor for actually show say that is not the right way. That look upon how the earth around now, low destruction. People, the always I say right now, if you live, you see 25 people are celebrate, and that is not how it's supposed to go. You see me?
It's just a man was made to be immortal.
Exactly.
But you're still mortal.
Exactly. You see me? Vessels of dishonor for actually show the Lord's people say, yo, this a stupidness. This is not the way to go. It is simple as that. It is a learning process, the Most High script, and we just play our part.
And it was so from the beginning, and it will be so in the end. You know, it was so from the garden. You see me? Who you think write the script for the serpent for deceive Eve? You see me? And then Eve, Adam going off. The most I write that script. You see me? So all things are play out as though him will it. As though the Lord will and the Lord do. Oh, declare in the beginning from the end.
Isaiah 46 and 10.
It says Isaiah 46 and verse 10 says, declaring the end.
You can start
at verse 9. This is Isaiah 46 and verse 9 says, remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh and there is none else.
Man, speak boldly. There is none else. So there is not a devil that is opposing the Most High, telling people what to do, or trying to convince people not to go with the Most High way. No, the Most High alone in power.
And there is none else. I am Yahweh and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning.
Exactly. Declare the end from the beginning. No matter which way, him declare every single thing.
And from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure.
Exactly. Point blank, you know. The Most High declare all things, right? The Most High don't basically have a second or a third, right? Where basically I do things with him, right? It's him alone. So basically that's straight to the point, you know. The Most High do it and the Most High will. That is simply just it.
Just finish it up because we don't want this to be too long. Get this last precept. This is Revelation 4 verse 11. It says, thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created.
Straight to the point. For thy pleasure where they are and for they are and were created. Simple as that.
Vessels of honor, vessels of dishonor.
Exactly. Straight to the point. So, you know, with that, hope this lesson was really edifying, you know, clear up a few points, you know. So with that, one give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles of James Great Millstone, and salutation to all the Akims out there, the Aquat, the believers and the helps. Shalom.
Shalom.